Once again, can we give Shaka a hand? Give her a hand. Matter of fact, give yourselves a hand for being here today for this opportunity and this event. Now keep it up, keep it in. I feed off the energy. I feed off the energy. Keep it up. Keep it up. Keep it up. Keep it up. Y'all can smile. It's okay. You can smile. Boom. Okay, all right, let me stop now. All right, listen, I don't know if you're going to clap for me later, so I got to go ahead and make it seem like I came all the way down here to Anderson, South Carolina, and said something real profound and real exciting. Guess I should have messed with that, huh? Okay, all right. Now, again, I want to let you all know that I'm very excited about what's going on here. I'm very honored and very privileged and humbled to be a part of what you all are doing down here in Anderson, South Carolina, or as my youngest daughter says, she says, "Daddy, you going to South Carolina?" Like, nah, babe, it's not soft. She's still working on her vowel blends, you know, that O and that U there. So she's working on it. She's 4, so we give her some time. She'll get it. She'll get it together. I don't want to get into naming names because I don't want to forget some people, but thank you to the staff or the committee or the group of leaders who put all of this together and was able to invite me out to share this moment with you all. Now, Shaka, I'm going to talk a little bit about Shaka because she left me hanging. I had to walk here. And I'm kind of offended by that. I had to walk all the way from this Holiday Inn right here, right in the back. And she said she couldn't pick me up. So okay, I gotta make it happen. I'll be there. But no, she's been a great host, or hostess, however you want to put it. And again, I'm just excited about this opportunity. Quick story. If I can move around, I don't know if this thing's going to pick with me now. Okay, quick story. Just this past weekend, I was at a conference up in Virginia, and at this particular conference, the facilitator was calling the roll of the participants in this conference, and I was writing something in my notebook or something, and she had called my name, Daryl Crosby, so I just kind of threw my hand up, let her know I was there. And then I went back to writing, and then she called another name who happened to have the same last name as mine. And so, you know, you hear someone with the same last name, that kind of catches your attention a little bit. At least it caught mine. But by the time I looked back up, that person had already had their hand down. So I didn't see who it was. So I kind of scanned the area, and I really couldn't see anyone's name tag. So I said, you know what, at our next break, I'm going to find out who this person is, who this imposter is with this last name, Crosby. I got to know. It might be family. You know, so next break I got that we had, I went to look and talk to people. What's your last name? Jones. Okay, that's not you. What's your last name? Smith. That's not you. Okay, then I finally found this person whose last name is Crosby. It's a young lady, and so I was excited to find another Crosby. So we started talking, trying to figure out where she's from. So I asked her where she's from. I said, "Are you from this area?" No. She says, "I'm from South Carolina." I said, "Okay, cool. What part of South Carolina?" See, you have to understand this. For whatever reason, anytime I meet someone from South Carolina, they're always from Charleston. It's like 85, 90% of the time they're from Charleston, South Carolina. So I kind of jumped the gun a little bit. I said, "Where are you from? What part of South Carolina? Are you from Charleston?" She said, "No." I said, "What part?" She said, "Anderson." I said, "Shut up." But not in a disrespectful way or anything like that. And so that made me think about the first time I met my wife up at Hampton University up in Virginia. And you know, we started talking, and I asked her where she was from. She said, "From South Carolina." I said, "Okay, what part of South Carolina? Charleston?" She said, "No." I said, "Shut up." I said, "Where?" She said, "Anderson." It's like, there's no such place as Anderson, South Carolina. That doesn't exist. And so that was the story of my first argument. And so Going back to the conference, so we were talking to the young lady who was from Anderson, and it started out, she would say something, and I would say something back, she would say something, I would say something back, and I realized that she kind of switched it a little bit. Instead of making statements, she was asking questions. And I realized what she was doing. She was trying to check me to see what I really knew about Anderson. So she would ask a question about Anderson. I answered the question about Anderson. She would ask me another question. I answered the question. And then I noticed she gave me a look. I call it the look of approval. She kind of looked at me like this. That's how I knew I had it. See, what you all need to understand, I know a little bit about the Electric City. Okay, I know a little something about Anderson Mall. Now, I don't know what they're doing to the Anderson Mall, but I know a little bit about it. I know a little bit about Anderson University. Okay, I know if you go down Clemson Boulevard, go way down there, you run into what? Clemson University, right? Okay, I know a little bit about the area. I know about the rivalry between Clemson University and University of South Carolina over in Columbia, about 2 hours away. I know a little bit about the area. I know about the jockey lot.
There you go. There you go.
I know about the jockey lot.
All right.
I tell you what, the jockey lot I've never seen. I tell you, we don't have that in Virginia. I've never seen one place where you can buy anything from furniture to French poodles, all in the same row. I've never seen that, but I know a little bit about Besto's. Yeah, the hot dog and chili on that. Yeah, I know a little bit about it. I know about the high school rivalry, the Rams of West Side High. Okay, and the Yellow Jackets of T.L. Hammer. Yeah, I know a little bit about it. I've seen the movie Radio. I know a little bit about it. So once again, listen, I'm just excited to be down here, Anderson, South Carolina. I want y'all to say this with me. Good to great. Say it again. Good to great. I'm an educator, so this is how I interact with my students. Good to great. There was a little girl about 6 years old. And this little girl went to the store with her mother. And the mother was very focused. She knew that she needed to go into this particular store to get one thing. But you have to understand this, the family didn't really have a whole lot of money. The financial situation was struggling. So the mother knew how important it was to focus, get this one thing, leave the store. So that's exactly what she did. The mother got the one thing that she needed, got to the checkout line. But the little girl looked over to her right, and something caught her eye. And what caught her eye got her really, really excited. Mommy, look, can I have this, look? So mom looked at her and said, what is it? It was a pair of pearl earrings. So the little girl was really excited. Mommy, can I please have this? I look so good with this in my princess dress on, my tiara, my high heels, her high heels. Can I please have it? So the mother said, oh, I don't know, let me take a look at it. So she picked it up and looked at the back of it. Price tag said $2. She said, baby, I'm sorry, I can't afford this. Little girl said, no, Mommy, please, I really look nice with my tiara, with my dress, with my high heels. I really feel good about it. Can I have it, please? She said, baby, I'm sorry, but you don't have the $2 that it costs. But this is what we can do. Your grandmother is coming down for your birthday. And your grandmother, she normally gives you some money. So maybe your grandmother gives you some money this year. You can come back to the store and get the earrings. So the little girl, she was excited about it. So that's exactly what happened. The birthday came, grandmother came, gave her money, she came back to the store, got the earrings. So she's walking all throughout the house, just strutting with her earrings on. $2 earrings. Now the father worked late, but they had a ritual. When he came home, he would go upstairs, He would read her a bedtime story, kiss her on the forehead, she'd go to bed. So this one particular night, he came home. He had already talked to the mother, so he knew about the earrings. So he went in the room, read the bedtime story. He said, "Baby, you love me?" She said, "Daddy, you know I love you." He said, "Okay, let me have your earrings." She said, "Daddy, you know I love you, but you can't have the earrings. You can have my Hello Kitty backpack, but you can't have my earrings." He said, "Okay, that's cool." He kissed her on the forehead. She went to bed. About 3 nights later, did the same thing. Went upstairs, read her bedtime story. He said, "Baby, do you love me?" She said, "Daddy, you know I love you." He said, "Okay, let me have the earrings." He said, "Daddy, I can't give you these earrings. I love you though, I can't give you these earrings. You can have my Elsa doll from the movie Frozen that sings 'Let It Go, Let It Go,' but I'm not letting these earrings go." He said, "Oh, okay." Kissed her on the forehead. She went to bed. About 4 days later, he came upstairs. We noticed something was different. He looked at her, and he noticed that she was doing this. What was she doing? She was crying. So he quickly went to her and said, "Baby, what's wrong? Why are you crying?" She didn't want to look at him, but he could see the tears just rolling down her face. He said, "Baby, you gotta tell me what's wrong. Tell me what's wrong." So she finally looked at him. She said, "Daddy, I love you." He said, "Okay, baby, well, why are you crying? I love you, Daddy. I want you to have this." She opened her hands, the earrings. So the father was feeling 2 types of ways. He was sad to see his daughter cry, but at the same time, he was happy because she made a decision. So he reached in his pocket. He took her earrings, and he gave her a box. She said, "Daddy, what's this?" He said, "Open it." She opened it. It was a brand new pearl necklace. And he said, "Baby, I had this the whole time, but I couldn't give it to you until you gave me those earrings." So everybody say, "Good, good to great." See, some of y'all already caught the morals of the story. This young lady, this little girl had a chance to go from good to great. She was so stuck with, she was just so stuck with these $2 earrings that she didn't realize that she had a $200 or more necklace right there waiting for her. She was so settled with what she had, she didn't realize what was in front of her. She let the good that was in her possession blind her from the greatness in her direction. And she had no clue. She was 6 years old. A lot of adults are the same way right now. A lot of adults have that same mentality. We're so stuck with what's good, with what's comfortable, so content, so complacent. A lot of times, all we have to do is take one step to greatness, and it's right there. And with that mentality, that good to great mentality, that's affecting families. That mentality is affecting communities. That mentality is affecting society. That mentality is affecting the country. And if I can go deeper, I can say this: it's affecting African American communities and families. And if I can go deeper than that, it's affecting African American young people. If I can really go deep, it should be another episode, though, it's affecting African American young men. And I believe, again, I'm an educator, so I'm kind of biased. I believe that the key to getting from good to great is education. A lot of our young people are missing that element. They're not understanding the importance of education. Now, that's my thoughts. Let me tell you what studies show. Studies show that when we live in a highly educated community, there's a larger stream of income that goes into it. Studies show that when we live in a highly educated community, there's a greater emphasis on health. Research says that when we live in a highly educated community, crime rates are down. Studies prove that when we live in a highly educated community, the overall morale of the people is higher. Now, I think that's a good combination. I don't know about you all, but I would love to live in a community where there's more money. Okay, and I know money isn't everything. I understand that, and I understand that money can't buy happiness. I can tell you what, money can put some smiles on some faces. That's just my observation about the world. So I would love to live in a community where there's a larger stream of income. I would love to live in a community where there's emphasis on health. We all can be healthier. I would love to live in a community where the crime rates are down. I would love to live in a community where people are happy. Did y'all know that Anderson was once voted the friendliest city in the country or something like that? Did y'all know that? Well, now you know. Okay? I would love to live in a friendly community. Now, in order to get there from good to great, that educational piece is major. And that's exactly why my wife and myself, we started our nonprofit organization up in Virginia called My Life, My Legacy. And the whole purpose of My Life, My Legacy is to help our high school students understand the importance of education. Now, when I say education, I'm not just talking about kindergarten through 12th grade or pre-K through 12th grade. That's legal. That's law. You have to do that. We're talking about the education when it comes to college, higher education. There's so many different options out there. And we really believe in the power of education and the potential of our young people. And when you're able to put those two things together, we can go from good to what? Great. Easily. And with My Life, My Legacy, we've been able to do quite a few good things. We, like Shaka read in the bio, we have received awards, and we're community recognized organization, and right now we have helped close to 30-some students get into college. Wow. Okay, they're in college anywhere from Old Dominion University up in Virginia, Norfolk State University, Virginia State, Virginia Union, down in North Carolina, Shawan College, North Carolina A&T, down in Georgia, Clark Atlanta University, down in Florida A&M University. We have not been the only reason, but we have been instrumental in helping our young people get to that point, and we are very proud. In fact, if I could highlight a couple things, in fact, we have our very first class in May. They will be graduating from college, and we are very excited about that. We are very, very excited about that. We are excited about the fact that this coming fall, next school year, we'll be able to expand. Not only will we have our physical chapter in Hampton Roads area, we will be expanding to the Maryland area, in Suitland, Maryland. So there will be a My Life, My Legacy there. And not only that, we will have an online component where we'll be able to impact lives across the country, across the world. Right now, we have young people in New Orleans that's ready to get on board with My Life, My Legacy. We have young people up in Michigan that's ready to get on board with My Life, My Legacy. So we are very proud of what we're doing. We're very proud of our young people. I have a young lady who was a senior at Virginia State University, Leandra Merrill. Through her college experience, she's had her mind changed. She's ready to go from good to great. She sings in the university choir. And just through that experience by itself, she's been able to go over to Italy to perform. She's been on one of the top shows when it was on America's Got Talent with her choir, just through that college experience by itself. We have another young lady, Kim Haney, who attends Old Dominion University. She also took advantage of the opportunity to go and study abroad. So she spent several months in Europe, talking about England and France, Switzerland, Belgium, Amsterdam, all of these different countries in Europe, all through their college experience. And both of these young ladies are fired up about coming back and starting programs and doing this, getting into their career to help our communities, to help our African American community. So that education piece is major. It changes the mindset to go from good to great. Say it with me, from good to great. And I feel that that's a vital piece that we all need to continue to push and that we need to continue to promote in our communities. Now, I don't know if you all have seen the movie Selma. Raise your hand if y'all seen the movie. Y'all can respond. Okay? Those of y'all who, and I'm not going to spoil it, but those of y'all who have not seen the movie, I highly recommend it. Okay? Obviously, it's about a phenomenal man with a phenomenal vision. It's a phenomenal movie. And as I was watching Selma, I was able to take a couple of principles, some things that I saw from that particular movie. And one thing that I realized about the vision of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., he knew he wasn't going to benefit from it. He knew it. He knew it. He said it in his speeches. He said he's seen the promised land, but he's not going to get there. So he knew good and well he was not going to see the end result of his work. His peers weren't necessarily going to benefit from it. But his children, his children's children, his legacy was going to benefit from the work that he was able to do. The United Way, I have to get this right, the African American Leadership Council of United Way of Anderson County. Did I get that right? That's right, okay, all right. Y'all clap up that, that's tough. I started on that. I worked about 4 weeks trying to get that one in right. Okay? Now, with the work that you all are doing and with the support of the communities, it's going to be the same thing. We might not be able to see it, but guess who will? Our children and our children's children. So there's a couple of principles that I pulled from that particular movie. One principle says this: the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The next best time is now. But understand that in planting that tree, there's a strong possibility that we will never be able to sit underneath its shade. And Dr. Martin Luther King understood that. We need to understand that. Because as we're doing the things that we are doing and doing the things that we need to do to help our young people, we may not benefit from it. We may not be able to stand in its glory, but our legacy will. My second principle is this: we did not come this far to only come this far. We have work to do. We have work to do. We have some serious work to do. Our young people are crying. They're reaching out the best way they know how. So we have to continue to push each other. We have to continue to push ourselves. Regardless of how tough it gets, how nerve-wracking these young people get, and they get nerve-wracking. But we didn't come this far. Dr. Martin Luther King, his dream, it didn't come this far to just stop. It has to continue. So I gave you all 2 principles. I need for y'all to give me 3 promises. And these promises are challenges. So here's what I want you all to do. Everyone say number 1.
Number 1.
I want you all to embrace the youth. Embrace them. Number 2, everyone say 2. Encourage them. John Maxwell says encouragement changes everything. So embrace, encourage, everyone say 3. Educate. Embrace them, encourage them, educate them. And I promise, even though we may not be able to physically see it, but that's going to be the bridge that's going to get our African American communities, our African American young people, from good to great. I promise you. Listen, I appreciate you all's time here down in Anderson, South Carolina. I really appreciate you all. Hopefully I said something that offended someone, but not offended to the point where you want to see me outside, but offended to the point where you're ready to change and you're ready to help someone else change. So our young people that's caught with that, no, I'm good, I don't want greater, help them to change as well. Thank you all very much.